contribute nothing or very little to the overall series. The series had a lot of them. Personally, I wouldn't recommend, and they gave it a 2.
Yeah,
A 2?
Whatever.
I actually agree with this person.
Fuck you, Nick. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anime Summit podcast. It's your favorite host and the most, I'm the Bomb. And of course with me every week is Danny Hootenanny.
Hello. Oh, we don't have unique names this time?
Oh, sorry, bitch ass. And Buick de Arkness.
Hey! The fourth.
The fourth. Buick de Arkness.
Is it D-Arkness or dark, or do you just not pronounce it?
I imagine
it's just darkness.
I imagine it's like the last Italian name, like it's like D'Agostino. So maybe you do say D-Arkness. Yeah, D-Arkness. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good December so far. And let me tell you something, I have not done any Christmas shopping.
Oh, wow.
Just hand him cash in a red envelope.
Oh, that's a good idea. Here's the thing, too, is like a lot of
You're
people...
an honorary Chinese.
Like, I'm a big proponent of, like, don't break your fucking bank getting presents for people. If you can't do it, don't fucking do it. But
you
also...
do the Secret Santa where you just, like, get a big-ass present for one person?
Yeah, we should do that. I mean, like... But also, like, I also feel bad, like, not getting people stuff. So it's like, but for,
because it's like they're, you're worth more than $30 or whatever, But
yeah,
I gotta get like 10 people presents.
Right. I would rather like everyone do like what we used to do with, Secret Santa, but you have like a $20 limit, so then everyone got like, $15 to $20 gifts, and you only had to buy for one person. Yeah, that's do that, okay?
I feel like you could have a higher limit if it's only one person, but
yeah, you could do whatever. I was just making
I don't want a box of Gushers. Like, I want some fucking good shit.
How much do you think a box of Gushers costs, Nick?
These days?
In this economy? Oh man. Anyway, don't break the bank, please. Don't do that. And also don't get me nothing because I have a lot of things. Dude, so we thought it'd be funny to look at some Mal reviews of some of our favorite shows and be like, wow, fuck you. And we're going to yell at those people and their reviews because they suck.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
And
that show sucked! That's Sam, all your reviews on Mal would just be that.
Yeah. I don't like that show. This show sucks.
3,000 upvotes.
I'm just gonna start doing that on my Mal account. I don't give a fuck, dude. Yeah, because it'll be funny. So we're just gonna do that. Links.animesummit.net. That's where you can find all the links to stuff. You can also find a link to our new podcast, Anime Plummet, with King, Mike, Ed, and Gizmo, reviewing the stuff that we don't have time for every season, plus some retro reviews and some other good stuff. And just kind of a Discord community podcast. That being said, I gave you guys the wrong schedule last week. So here's what happened. So the Sunday, the 4th, so last weekend, or not last weekend, but the weekend before, is when it comes out on Patreon. And then Sunday, the 11th, is when that same episode comes out on the... You know what I mean? On the feed.
To the public.
Yeah. So then that means the next weekend on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 17th, the second episode should have came out on Patreon, but I accidentally already uploaded it. So for those of you who are patrons, you guys are getting
You got it early. Congratulations.
You're getting that early, yeah. So actually the second episode comes out on the 18th. So it's bi-weekly, right? So when basically it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So it comes out one weekend on Patreon. The next weekend, the same episode comes out on public. Then the next weekend, Patreon. Then the next weekend, public. So it's like, You know what I mean? So on the 18th, the second episode will be public, and that's their seasonal first impressions of all the shows we didn't cover. So get excited. Okay? And then on the 25th, the third episode should come out on Patreon, I believe. But King actually had like a honeymoon planned with his wife. So like they're out and about running around the world right now. So they will keep me updated on that stuff, and we make sure not to step on each other's toes and stuff. So it'll be fun. It's a good time.
We should probably put it on our calendar.
Yeah, we'll probably put it on our account so we know. That being said, planning on the podcast, there's that announcement. Okay. Speaking of Patreon though, patreon.com/anime summit. Become a patron today. Give a honey bear her some more freckles. Okay, because she's fat.
The smoky wings thing was much
it was funnier,
smoother.
Yeah,
you got to find a smooth transition.
More freckles. She doesn't need any more freckles. That's true. You know, she's fat. She's a fat cat. Started calling her Honey Racha earlier because that Honey Racha sauce they sell at the stove. And I just have to tell everyone that because I think it's really cute, and I want to squeeze the honey bear right now. That being said, listener question of the week.
Oh, you spell it like honey, not like honey. Okay.
Yeah, I spell her name Hunny, like Pooh's pot of honey.
It's funnier when you can't see how I'm saying it.
Yeah. Yeah, like Pooh's pot of honey. It says Hunny on it. Honey bear. Yeah, Pooh Bear, Honey Bear. Listener question of the week, Nick.
This is from King.
Oh, speaking of King, God, that bitch.
He's probably in some temple right now, swirling the little swirly thing to make the tingy sound.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you do that, King. Don't be scared, King. I want that ASMR.
Oh,
okay.
No.
King
this
ASMR.
The question is this:
ASMR.
how would you guys like to be isekai'd? Mine is slip on a banana peel. Have we done this one before?
No, I just grabbed this from he randomly typed it in the patron channel like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I grabbed it.
Okay, maybe I remember reading it, but we didn't actually read it on the show yet.
No.
Okay.
If we
That's
did,
a good
I am
question.
sorry. But like,
if we did, King gets a double dip. All right.
Yeah, we will slap him around a little bit when he comes back. Not Truck Coon, because that's scary. I would just like to mine's gonna be a basic bitch answer. I would love to just sleep and then wake up in the next. I don't want to fucking die. You know what I mean? Like I'm not afraid to die, but I'm afraid of like the pain. You know what I mean? So
I'm afraid.
Like, I don't know. I think it'd be fun if it was like, maybe, you know what would actually be funny? If it was like your celebrity crush comes up to your door and they're like, hey, let's do it. Let's have sex. And I'm like, okay, down the clown. And you get naked, and right as you're about to do it, you get isekai.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you fucking die, dude.
That would suck.
And she laughs at your she laughs at your mangled genitalia.
She's like, what is
They're
it?
just like, it's like, you know, you tried to put a pattern in your pubes, you know, and you fucked it up. You got a little razor burn on there, and she laughs at you.
Okay, that's mine. That's my answer.
Or he, whatever.
Or they, yeah, whatever. You know.
I'm not judging. Or themstivict.
Them.
Themstivict.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Danny, you go first.
What the hell?
Nick has to think of a really funny answer. That's why he's taking forever.
I guess like falling into a manhole, but like once I fall in, I like fall into like a dark room, like how freaking isekais, you know, like, yeah, you died, but we're gonna give you another chance in this other dimension kind of thing.
Oh, so it's like a pocket dimension. It's
Yeah,
like a
like a
smash
pocket.
cut.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
fall
yeah,
in
yeah.
like literally Alice in Wonderland, Danny. That's literally what you did.
Yeah.
Do you wave on your way down? You're like, bye. You're not even scared. You just assume you're gonna get isekai.
I like fall in. I'm like, oh well, shit. This is gonna happen. Crap.
a Dune emoji. That's the last thing you think of.
I get into the room, and the person like there is explaining it to me. I'm like, yeah, I know how all this works. Just tell me where I'm going. Like,
Yeah, where are my stats?
yeah. What are my stats?
Do I have a HUD?
Am I overpowered, or do I have to level up in order for be overpowered?
Can I eat things and gain their powers?
Give me the spark notes. I don't need this whole tutorial bullshit.
Did I get gamified world or harem? Just tell me. Just let me know.
Right. Like, you know.
Well, the harem's gonna cost you extra.
Oh, well, see,
Oh,
you didn't die
take
that
it.
way, so like, well, shit. What about
I feel
you, Nick?
like I'd just be like that sarcastic asshole. It's all like, oh shit. Well, I know how this works. Let's go. Don't give me the full frontal tutorial. Just give me, the easy mode tutorial so I can just move on.
Can I just stay in this black room and just hang out with you? No.
Yeah, like I don't
That's
want to
it.
go. I don't want to leave. Like I don't want to work. Let me just stay in here.
All right, Nick, what's your answer?
2 chicks at the same time, man.
Oh my god.
Really, $1 million bucks?
Two
They'd do
chicks,
it with
one
a guy
cup?
like me.
2 chicks, 1 cup.
No, I still haven't watched that. I don't
I mean,
want.
neither have I. So
Don't. I didn't even make it halfway through.
All that
it.
shock stuff is like really gross.
Yeah, I hate it. Anyway,
Or disturbing. Anyway,
the worst
yeah, I
part
would
about
not
that
want
is
to die
that was
like
just a
that.
trailer. Anyway, go ahead.
Here's how I want to get isekai'd. I want to be driving along the road and a brick goes through the windshield and fucking smashes my skull.
Just right away. Just done. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's actually a real video like that, and it's terrifying.
Jesus.
People are gonna look this up now, but it's a guy with his family, like his kid in the backseat, and his wife, and she gets killed by a brick. And I don't even think you see it. I haven't watched it. I refuse to watch it. But like, you don't see it, but you hear it, and it's like the most like horrible audio you could possibly imagine. Anyway, that's why I want to get isekai'd.
God, that's horrible. That's horrible.
That's horrible. Yeah. It's
Oh,
either
man.
that or 2 chicks at the same time.
2 chicks at the same time, dude. Oh, man. Okay, Danny, waifu and his bando.
Waifu is Alicia Florence from Aria the Animation. There you go, Nick. We finally have an Aria waifu.
Aura!
And husbando is Akito Kentawa.
Tenkawa.
Sorry. From Martian Cesar Nadesco.
No, on the sheet it says you gotta read the sheet, Danny.
No, don't read the sheet,
No,
Danny.
I am not reading it like that. Fuck you.
So Nick
All right.
typed in Martian suck, Cesar Nadesco. So then I changed the middle of it so it said Martian S, fuck you, Nick, Cesar Nadesco. Before we get started, see, there's a Mal review. I just roasted Nick's review. There you go. Fuck you. Anyway,
Yeah, that was my review.
no, here's. Let me just start by saying this, okay? And Nick reminded me too, so I'm just like, that's a good idea. We should say that. We all understand that opinions are opinions, okay? Except when they're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But like, no, like, like
It's like South Park. There are no stupid questions, just stupid people.
yeah. But like, yeah, no, like we understand opinions are opinions, and everyone's entitled to them. Although the 3 of us here are big proponents of, hey, like what you like, don't give, who cares, who gives a fuck. We are going to like break that rule today, obviously, because we're going to roast people's reviews. We are going to review or roast their reviews, okay, not the people. So, and obviously, these people, and we're only going to give, their male names, obviously. We're not going to give them their say their...
We don't know who they are.
Yeah, we don't even know
anyway,
their real
so.
names anyway. But if the review...
But don't go on Mal and message them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
don't
don't be a dick, because we're... This is all just dumb fun. It's like in our Discord when you disagree with somebody about a show, and then you guys start flinging poo
Yeah.
at each other. Yeah, it's like, this is for fun. So...
It's a roast. That's what a roast is.
Yeah.
What happens in the roast stays in the roast.
Yeah.
So there.
Don't walk away all serious. It's not, we're just fucking around, but at the same time, fuck you. But no. Or am I kidding? No. No, seriously, I'm
the
kidding.
first thing Sam says is like, "You've made an enemy for life."
You son of a bitch!
Where's his address?
I'm gonna stab you!
Oh my god.
You should say that in there while you're talking about it. Just break out into that. Oh, just start screaming at one point, Sam, please.
Oh man. Okay, but no, seriously. So, yeah, well, it's all just good fun. But I'm just kidding. Or am I?
I love
No.
it in the show sheet, Sam. Like, you're all like, this is all, this is all fun, disagreeing on anime, so let's calm down, but fuck these people.
Fuck these people, though. These weebs don't know shit about fuck. That's in our show sheet. It says that.
Find funny, stupid, dumb reviews of your favorite shows and roast them because, let's be honest, 50% of weebs don't know shit about fuck.
I'm kidding. We all have opinions.
Yeah. All right.
Sure. Right.
Fucking bitches. Okay, anyway.
Insert Dr. Evil saying right.
Right. And so this first one is by, and honestly, it's got a lot of upvotes, and I gotta praise these people for writing these long reviews, because I do look at Mal reviews too sometimes. I mostly trust. I don't take them for recommendations though. Like if someone does recommend it or not recommend it, I don't listen to that. I just will watch it if I want to watch it. And the only people with like taste I really listen to is like some people in the Discord, and Nick and Danny's obviously, and then like whatever.
The artist formerly known as Digibro.
Yeah, Mario, and even Digibro, like, you know what I mean? And like
The artist formerly known as Digibro.
the artist formerly known. And like,
Because I don't know their name. They keep changing it.
and obviously like other people in our pod network, like the Weebologists and things like, and Anime Bros and shit like that, I'll listen to them, and Mario and Sudi, I'll listen to them too. But like these people that I don't know, normally the time I just don't. So that's just my disclaimer.
And Roger Ebert.
Yeah, that guy.
Just kidding.
Yeah, and Martin Scorsese.
There's a really funny podcast on the Bill Simmons Ringer Network where they talk. It's called The Rewatchables, and they always read the Roger Ebert review and they crap on him.
That's
he doesn't
funny.
He doesn't like a lot of like the rewatchable style movies.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
So this first review is on Chainsaw Man, so it's not even done. Okay, but like this review was given when 3 eps were out, so it's preliminary, but they already say not recommended, and it's by Verticulum. Okay, and
so we're not gonna read
No.
the entirety of every review because it's a kind of a lot.
no, yeah, we're not gonna read because
Unless it's a short one.
these
but-
3 reviews that I chose are like long essays, like short essays of like
Oh God.
Yeah.
I picked one that's like 2,000 words.
So
I can't read that.
Of course they're saying the production on the CG is a little bad, which is fine, whatever. A lot of people think that. And there was some parts of it that I do agree that some of it was lacking. Things like that. The thing that stuck out to me was a few points. And this is the reason why I chose this is because this just solidifies my point that, and I don't know if this person read the manga, but from this review, it really seems like they haven't. Actually, it's very apparent that they haven't. So the problem with the anime Chainsaw Man is that it doesn't deliver. I don't know, and it could be just the problem with the anime only people watching it, but I don't know. I think it is the problem with the anime too. It does not deliver like the themes and commentary on society very well as much as the manga does, and this review is proof of that. And I'm not gonna read this whole part, but like there's a part of the review where they're like, okay, let's talk about the characters. I was told by some manga readers that this is a character-driven story. If that's the case, I don't know what kind of crazy character development they're going through, because as of now they're insufferable, and they have like Denji, Power, Makima, and Aki listed. They say Makima's flat. They say Power is an idiot, and then they say Denji is an absolute idiot. He shouldn't have lived through the first episode. Compare him to Naruto or Goku from the first volumes of the manga as effing geniuses. Denji is taking the archetype of a stupid shonen protagonist and making it even worse. Okay, so that part is when I was like, I didn't even need to read the rest of like Denji's review there because I was just like, no. So what people are failing to understand about the Chainsaw Man anime is like how his dad's problems and society has put him where he was. And like, and then people calling the show problematic because like Makima's a groomer or whatever. And it's like,
No, the other chick was a groomer. What's her name? Himeno or
oh, maybe
eye patch
yeah,
girl, right?
Yeah, she was a little.
The one who throws up in his mouth?
She got a little too touchy-feely, yeah. But like that's kind of the point. Is like, if like you didn't.
Yeah, but it.
What?
I'm just saying, dude. If it's like the South Park episode. Was she hot? Nice.
Okay. Anyways, so
It's the double
like,
standard.
yeah, don't listen to Nick. But like that's kind of the problem. And if you didn't get the vibe that Makima was kind of like a shitty person from like the beginning, then like. Again, I don't know if that's a problem with the anime not delivering that as well, or just people not.
She has swirly eyes. Look at her eyes.
Yeah, like people not understanding. Like, I don't know. So the anime only people, I have no problem. I'm an anime only person with a bunch of different shows. You know what I mean? So like I get it, but like this is one of those ones where I'm kind of just like, when you're done watching it, I would think you should read the manga because it delivers that better. So. Obviously, this person has only seen episode 1 and 1, 2, and 3, but like, and then they start comparing it to like, it's like Jujutsu Kaisen is this, and they came out at the same time, and CCM is just a more mature version of that, or something like that. And I was just like, dog, like, and then they said Chainsaw Man for anime is what Family Guy is for comedy, a show to advertise for mature audience because of how inappropriate it is. In reality, it will probably be mostly enjoyed by teenage abundances of forbidden fruit always tastes the sweetest. And then they gave it a 5 out of 10. And so
that is the best score you can give is 5, like, because it's going to be controversial.
So like I just like, fam, you fucked up. Like that is wrong. That is absolutely it's your opinion. That's fine. But your analysis is wrong. And, go to hell, Anyway.
Danny secretly wrote that review because she didn't like the manga.
Oh,
Danny,
man.
what's your password?
But I do appreciate the long, like, I love when people do the long essay reviews. I like it. So, shout out.
Yeah, it's better than, like, animation, story, music. They just list things.
Yeah, they just list things.
Although I do like those because it's so cheesy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, what about you, Danny? What's your first one?
Well, on the show sheet, as I have it listed, I'm actually going to go backwards. So I'm going to start my pick from the bottom and go up.
Sure.
Danny, you're throwing us off. We can't record under these conditions.
Oh no, what are you going to do?
Never mind.
What are you gonna say? Go ahead, I'll allow
I
it.
forgot. I was gonna say the actress, but I forgot her name. The deadpan girl from Community.
Audrey Plaza.
Yeah, you sounded like her for just a second.
No, wait, is it Audrey Plaza?
Yeah, I think so.
Audrey
that sounds
Plaza's
right.
not in that one. Audrey Plaza is
Aubrey
in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, Parks and Rec.
Yeah, that's
Same thing.
That's Aubrey Plaza.
Anyway, yeah, you sounded like her, but I forgot her name.
So my first one is gonna be My Dress Up Darling, and at least on my page, I don't know what it is for you guys, but the first 3 reviews before you actually look at more reviews, all 3 of them are not recommended reviews.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, is it manga readers or something?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I just assume everybody who doesn't like something is a manga reader.
Well, the first 2 have like spoiler content in them, but this last one, by Monad Proxy, they're pretty much saying that My Dress Up Darling is fun, but it's just waifu bait. which, I mean, I kind
Buddy.
of get it.
Disagree. I kind of get what you mean too, but yeah, like no.
Yeah, like I don't see that it's waifu bait.
What did they? Oh, sorry. Say the score at the end. Sorry, I was gonna say what did they score it, but say it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
But they wrote like this story is set up in a way all rom-coms are. It's the same formula used here. It's about cosplay, which is unique enough to the whole anime romance genre, which I agree. But the thing, everything else in My Dress Up Darling is seen somewhere else. Girl and boy accidentally meet. Girl and boy get together every time in some way. Both develop feelings for each other. This is exactly how My Dress Up Darling is set up and how it works. Yep. The same way you've seen in every rom-com. It's very predictable because of that. But trust me, the show doesn't stop being enjoyable. They pretty much like talk about like pretty much this fan service. So they don't really like the fan service. They wrote it shows tons of fan service and horny kids start going wild about it. It's enjoyable, but sometimes the fan service makes you feel uncomfortable. The misunderstandings and all that same way most rom-coms do is present here as well. I do not enjoy the fan service as much as others do, but that fan service is the only reason as to why this show is as popular as it is right now. Everyone is making thumbnails of those perverted shots and gaining tons of popularity, even boosting this show itself. Sometimes I am low-key disgusted by how it heavily relies on that. Remove fan service and this show won't be half as popular as it is right now.
And?
Man, that is...
My complaint is that Marion does not have enough of a butt. She has a pancake butt in the show, the way they draw her. And that's unforgivable. You can't trust somebody with a flat butt.
So what say you, Danny? What is your...
Stop just ignores me.
I mean, I can understand.
If I start
that
going
they-
on a butt rant, then I'm gonna go forever. So that's why I didn't say anything. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I can
So I'm just like...
I can understand the fan service, like not enjoying fan service, because I mean, I'm the type of person that doesn't really particularly care about excessive fan service. I mean, I've talked about that in Fire Force numerous of times.
Well, and Fire Force is terrible too. So yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's out of place. So like,
I bet I would like Fire
that's
Force.
a
I should watch it.
reason. That's a reason to like be a little nitpicky about fan service. But with My Dress Up Darling, I mean, yeah, sometimes you'll get the close-ups of like Marin's boobs jiggling, especially when they're in Gojo's room for him to measure her when they first start making clothes and stuff. And, you know, Gojo is all like nervous and anxious, and he's like telling Marin, like, you have to, it's best if you're in your underwear. And Marin's like super comfortable. And they're like, well, looky here, like, I'm wearing a bathing suit. And like, excuse me, it pans to a shot of like literally a close up of her boobs, or, you know, some sort of, and like panty shot or something like that. But I feel like it's a lot tasteful. I feel like where it really gets fan servicey, quote unquote, is when they go to, spoilers, go to the like love motel.
Yeah.
And like Gojo's, you know, Gojo gets a boner and stuff like that. Like, but that's a scene intentionally to have that. So
yeah, it was built like that on purpose for a comedic effect. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm not gonna read their whole paragraph. They did. I actually see it right here. They did say the characters are bland as hell. They have the same personalities like you have seen in every teen romance show. The usual gets easily shy or isn't afraid to show her body or something like that, or maybe supporting their low interest or trying to act cute, but doing cheesy stuff which somehow comes off as funny apparently.
I would say Marin is not typical, because she's way out there with like her hentai, like, or not hentai.
Listen,
but like
she loves
Arrow games.
Yeah, like
right?
she loves what she loves. Like,
and like in public, they're just talking about it. Like these ladies overhear them. So.
But it's weird. Like their overall like kind of thing. They say they do recommend this show if you don't mind the issues mentioned above much. My Dress Up Darling is waifu bait, but one which will be very memorable because of doing so everything with fan service. Honestly, it's one of those bad but enjoyable shows. I won't say more. It's just try it for yourself. This is your typical rom-com, but this time it was marked very well. But the fact that Marin is on so many people's profiles, picture profile. Okay, that's weird. As like people's profile pictures, just helped sell it more. It falls badly on having substance. Thus, the score it got by this person, and they rated it a 3.
Dude.
Like,
come on, dog.
It's terrible. Terrible.
I don't understand why you would give it a 3, but you say that you would recommend this show to people.
Yeah.
Maybe they hate people.
What the fuck is your problem?
Like,
Oh boy.
this is why I don't read reviews, Nick. I don't know how you do it. Like, I really.
Well, I don't read that many of them either. I just kind of skim them.
Yeah, I think Nick does it for entertainment. It's like...
The first, I'm not gonna read like these first two, but
yeah, we're not gonna read the whole thing.
The first two, other not recommended, they both gave it a 4.
Oh my lord.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, if they're not recommending it, they're going to give it a low score by definition.
Right.
They're like this. Some of them like broke it down. They said this show is like a 6 out of 10, right up my alley. -3 for the pointless fan service, plus
oh
1.
My god.
For
the whole point is she's a cosplayer.
Like,
she's a cosplayer. That is fan service. I would only respect their opinion if they mentioned her flat butt. Okay, her pancake cheeks.
No one is mentioning Marin's flat butt.
Are offensive to me.
And then this first one is all
do
like,
some squats, Marin.
Like I think they're pissed that they're all like, just fuck already. Like, kind of some like how you are with certain romances. Like, God, just like fuck already.
Okay,
like,
half the time I'm joking, but yeah, like for real, yeah, you know, like. Come on.
I mean, I get it. If they're in high school, they're all nervous and shit.
Yeah, I was nervous in high school. Jesus Christ.
And like this is the first time they met. But if I would get it if like they were dating for a long time and they hadn't fucked yet.
I mean, unless they're like those people where they save themselves until marriage.
Saving before marriage. That's a stupid idea to do that. But anyway, what if they suck at sex then? maybe it's like a business marriage or something.
I don't understand why people like this other not recommended is saying that this is waifu bait.
It is, because she's like the most well-drawn character ever, and then like the other characters kind of suck a little bit. So
yeah, it's like at a wedding, you know, like you want the bride to look like the most, you know, stand up.
Yeah.
But
Excuse me. But no, I get you, Danny. I agree with that first part, especially like why would you rate it a 3 if you still.
If you're gonna like, literally, they're right under. They said overall, and literally they wrote, I do recommend this show.
Like why wouldn't you give it at least a 5 then or something? I don't know. It seems weird.
Right. Like,
anyway.
No, because 5 is the most offensive score you can give something.
And they did even say like, I don't enjoy the fan service, but I did enjoy the show.
Right.
Like, you're contradicting your
Contradictory.
Contradictory. Write it down.
Write it down.
Oh my
Somebody write it
God.
down.
Jeez.
No, Danny, you don't understand. I understand you're embarrassed, but like these are better versions of the original word you were trying
Yeah,
to say. Like,
Danny
they're better.
is improving
You're improving on the English language.
upon our yes.
Anyway,
An merch idea, a like T-shirt or a pin or a sticker of a book that says Dannyisms.
Dannyisms, yeah. Oh man,
Danny's bathroom book.
planning on the podcast.
Danny's bathroom.
Danny's digest.
I'll have Danny reading. I'll have Nick reading that book in the next chapter of Fist of Sun.
Oh my God, have Nick like.
I will use the Mickey Mouse voice though.
Oh no. Nick, you need to be like in a ugly Christmas sweater lying on a bear rug with a campfire behind you, reading that book.
The Dannyisms, yeah.
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 Oh hi, I didn't see you there.
Oh
I'm
hi.
Nick.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Nick, what's your first roast?
All right. So my first one is K-On!
Oh God.
And I mentioned this somewhat recently. I tried not to pick shows that we talk about all the time, but of course one of them.
Sure.
I mean, they're all going to be popular-ish.
This is one of those ones
I didn't
where
want to
it's
pick
got,
something
like,
that was too niche, you know.
This is one of those ones where it's got like the breakdown. It's like story, art, sound. Like, you know.
Yeah, I might have linked you the wrong one here. Is it by the Paper Cut? Is that the one I linked?
Yep, that's the one you
Okay.
linked.
Yeah, I love these. I got a soft spot for the just the list, the bulleted list reviews. So this is from the Paper Cut, and how many? 472 people found this helpful. 12 people. Oh, you can give it a emoji now. You can give it a funny emoji.
Oh, you can
That's
funny
good.
react. Nice.
12 people thought it was funny. Okay,
32
good.
people thought it was confusing.
Well, where does it show? Oh, show all. Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Damn,
you got more of
I
them.
should have said this on the last one. Yeah.
You guys can go back and do that. Okay, so
you go.
So they say that it's going to be the 5-part Mal review. As you know by the description, and this is their words, they say, as you know by the description of the anime's page, K is supposed to be about Yui Hirasawa joining and saving her high school's light music club, with the problem being that Yui has never read music or knows how to play the guitar. And they describe how a few of the problems get cleared up and the main bulk of the plot goes nowhere. And you come to an episode and still get what's going on. The anime is heavy on the theme light and fluffy. So, okay, they didn't like that, I guess.
What the hell?
Which is fine. Like every other moe anime, it's generic and predictable in the events category. So, yeah, like they have the school festival. They have, like, the school year, just like the trappings of the school year. The art. The biggest problem with the show, in their opinion, is the art from Kyoto Animation. I can guarantee you the studio used a step-by-step handbook and stencil set to create Yui, Mio, Ritsu, and Mugi.
What the fuck?
These are very recognizable characters, by the way. Generic characters. I want to do that. If you guys have heard of the show, oh shoot, what's that show where they have the button? I think it's just called The Button, right? It's on
I'm
YouTube.
not sure what you're talking about.
It's like a dating show, and you have like a group of guys and a group of girls.
It's by
I think it's called
Cut.
The Button.
It's the YouTube channel is called Cut, and it's their new like segment that they've been doing, and it's like kind of like blind dating, but people are actually blindfolded, and they have
this
to,
one, yeah.
they have
There's
to sit
that
in
variation of it too.
Yeah, they have to sit in front of a table, and there's a button in front of them, and they just have to like talk to the person, and if they're not vibing with the person, they like press
They
the
hit
button.
Yeah. Well, the
And
button
they ask-
directs them to ask questions too. The button has like the
Yeah,
robot voice.
yeah. And then if they do press the button, the button will ask like, so why did you press the button? Like, well, first they'll say like, remove the blindfold, and they're like, so why did you press the button? And then
they give like some wishy-washy answer, but
Yeah.
everybody knows the real reason. Like, the best part of the show is not watching the show; it's watching people review the show. That's what I do. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I want them to do. I want somebody on that show to just be like generic.
oh my god,
Just call me.
Nick, why don't you be that person?
I would be. They would call me generic. He's too basic. He's like a Lego person. All right. We're talking about K-On! Now. K-On! Is generic, much like the button. And, so this person, the paper cut does not like the art. And let me suggest to you, Paper Cut, how about you cut yourself with paper? It's great art. Don't do that, please. Yes, so they don't like the art. They don't like the backgrounds. I think the backgrounds were actually pretty good in K-On! Relative to like the average show, because Kyoto Animation does a good job. I mean, they were above average, but not like god tier. The sound is the only thing that they found that kept this out of the rubbish category. Although I question what is their rubbish category, because this person gave the show a 2.
Yeah, I was
out
about
of
to
10.
say,
This is out of
what
10.
What the hell?
So 1 is rubbish and 2 is. It's like the eclair on top of the. It's like when George eats the donut on the top of the garbage. That's what the 2 is. That's a Seinfeld reference. I gotta reference like the same shit every week. I guess that's just my thing. So they like the music. The characters, all the characters have traits that are superficial. They're all generic and no one has anything that makes them unique or stand out. I will say this, like, they do fit into the character tropes.
Oh, I'm
Like, you have the
sorry,
Genki
Moogie
girl,
and
you
her
have-
pickled eyebrows are not.
Yeah, well, Moogie's like the
Stand
trope of
out.
like she's like the Ara, like secretly lesbian. Ritsu is the tomboy. Moogie is the shy one. And like, yeah, they do have like their traits.
No,
but
Mio is the shy one. Moogie.
Mio and Moogie. Yeah, Moogie's a scaredy cat. That's right.
No, Mio is the scaredy cat.
What did I
Mio
say?
is the
I'm
one
mixing
that
them
has
up now.
stage.
I'm fucking them up.
Mio
No,
is the one
Mio's the
that
tall.
has-
Yeah, she has the long black hair. She's a
Yeah.
scaredy cat. Yeah. Ritsu is the shy one. She's the younger classmate.
Ritsu is
No,
not
no,
the
no.
shy one. What are you
Fuck!
talking about?
God damn it! There's 5, Danny. There's 5. Who's the 5th one? The little one.
Azunyan?
Azunyan. They didn't mention
She
it in the
doesn't even
review.
come in until like the second season, bro.
She's kind of in this season. Is she in first season? I don't
Like,
even remember.
At the very end, but she mainly is in the second
All right.
season.
Oh
Why
my
do I
God.
know more of K-On! Than you do?
It's been a while, Danny. I haven't watched it since like 2016.
All right, go ahead, Nick. God damn it, dude.
This person said it's boring and painful and predictable. Light and fluffy fan service, which should host no original art and set of characters. If you're looking for something, you don't. Okay. They didn't like it. They gave it a 2. I'm gonna give this a confusing emoji. I just clicked on it and it bumped it up.
Honestly, I really wish that Mal would just give a thumbs down. I really want a thumbs down.
That should be on Facebook too. Like your relative is like, I just got a promotion. Give him a thumbs down. I'm just
What the
kidding.
fuck is your problem?
I can't.
Oh man.
So this was the second highest rated review on Mal for K-On!, which is funny.
It's crazy. Disagree.
I think this is just like real quick. I think K-On!'s like my favorite cute girl doing cute thing show for anime. It's like the top tier one in my opinion. So if you're looking for one of those shows, check out K-On!. That's all I gotta say. Next person, Sam, your turn.
So you disagree, obviously.
I would give it a
disagree, too.
solid 3.
Just to go back to the Chainsaw Man one really quick, the one that got the most votes was 133 votes, and it was confusing. 133 people thought this review was confusing.
That's
And
hilarious.
I'm also going to click it. There we go.
Oh yeah, what was Danny's? What was the one Dress Up Darling?
Yeah, what
The
was the
one
highest?
that I critiqued on, it only got 740. Most people liked the review, and like 580 people liked the review. There was 62 people who thought the review was confusing. The most highest review that was not recommended got 1,608, and most people again liked the review, and 125 people thought the review was confusing.
I do like
So-
this new system where it's not just the thumb. I like the emoji options.
So the next one I found, I should say too that review, obviously the Chainsaw Man one was from obviously a couple months ago when it started.
And the show's not even done yet. So.
Yeah, the show's not even done yet. The review I'm reading now is from 2010. and it's Martian successor Nadesco, because I had to. Everyone take a shot. Here's why I had to, because I thought I knew it was going to be a review that, like, I knew it exactly what it was going to be. It was going to be a review that said something like the feel of the 90s animation is bad, blah, 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 and it's not funny, and that kind of stuff, right? So I just knew. So, like, if I sound like a fucking old lady here, so be it. I don't care. Because obviously I don't fucking know how old this person is, whatever the fuck. But this is from KKK Kaj. KKK Kaj.
Well, it's Kiki.
Kiki Kaj. And
yeah.
Not recommended, obviously. And I'll just kind of summarize this first paragraph. They said, it follows the crew of the Nadesco as they say it like they don't know how to pronounce it. Like, follows the crew of a battleship named Nadesco as they travel through space while battling alien forces. Like, dude, it's Nadesco. It's exactly, it's a play on the word Nadeshiko, which is like a flower. Okay, so, like, shut up. Okay, number one.
Why would they type that?
Yeah, like they typed it. That's stupid. Having watched the show,
okay,
it's quite clear that the inspiration behind Vandred, I don't think so. And the show itself also seems to be derived from Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. Perhaps it's trying to parody that classic anime, but it's hard to tell, since I didn't find it to be very funny despite its best attempts at comedy. Wow, okay. They also said, like, the production is not great. It has such a strong, outdated early 90s, late 80s feel to it that I couldn't believe my eyes when I read that it's from 96. The animation looks oldish. Oh, no shit. You're in 2010 watching a show from 1996.
Well, maybe they think it even looks old, even compared to other 1996. But did they say that or no?
No, they didn't say it. They just said it has a 90s to late 80s feel to it that I couldn't believe my eyes when I read that it was from 96. Oh, I guess they did kind of say that. Yeah,
okay, so
right.
maybe they did think. Okay.
But still, though, like, it was like you're probably comparing it to, like, I don't know, dude. It like, okay, here's the thing. Like, it's by Studio Zebek, okay, and at the time Zebek didn't have a lot going on. We'll just say that, all right. Not that that excuses it. I'm just saying, like, shut up, okay. Anyway, the story feels like it has a lot going on, but I found it difficult to follow, partly due to the aforementioned underemphasis on important moments, and partly because I found things were often moving too fast for me to pick up on what was going on. It's a good example of how not to build up and execute twists in the plot. That I kind of agree with a little bit, maybe not so much, because it is like Cowboy Bebop. It's episodic in a way. Actually, it's pretty episodic to begin with, actually, and maybe the twists, I do agree that the twists that are in it should have been built up better, because if you're going to have an episodic thing, then you got to find better ways to, build those things up. That being said, fuck you. And they wrote, like, they said that it's a laborious task to watch. It feels dull, amateurishly put together, and even though the last few episodes are relatively exciting, the plot is even more difficult to follow in those episodes. If this series is more exciting like Last Exile, then I might be more motivated to try and work out the story. But in the case of this quote-unquote Martian successor Nadesco, that just feels like a waste of time. Okay, you need to stop referring to the show like it's like some kind of petulant child. Like, the whole entire review, they're like, so this Martian successor Nadesco. Like, oh my god, dude, it's not a fucking...
I can see the Cheeto stains on your keyboard.
It's not a fucking hors d'oeuvre at a party that you just didn't happen to like when you grabbed it, okay? It's a show, okay? And then they're saying that they would have rather watched the Gekiganger 3 anime that the show, which is the show they watch in the show. And
that's fair.
I kind of get that, because that's like part of it, though. I don't know.
Was Last Exile any good? Because it would be hilarious if, like, Last Exile was just panned. I haven't seen it. It's been on my list forever, but
no idea.
I've definitely heard of it.
I'd have to be tortured before I watch it again. Rating 4. They rated it a 4. Yeah. So my only, like, critique to this, my only roast to this is, like, I mean, it's just not for you, and that is completely fine. and your opinions on some of this is fine. I get it. But like when you talk about the production and talk about like the comedy and how it's like a parody of Macross is like, that's so out of touch. Like you have no idea the kind of production that went into Nadesco, that went into the mecha design to set itself apart, you know, from things like Macross and, you know, Palabor and things like that.
Yeah, did it have Yamato, Space Battleship Yamato vibes too?
It kind of did too, yeah, because obviously it follows like a ship that's flying through the air, right? It's following the Nadesco.
Yeah.
And the Nadesco is a big space station. The ship itself looks like, you know, a long, you know, it's got 2 arms, it's long, you know what I mean? So like it is inspired by those sci-fi space opera mecha anime, yes. But it's not
I'm reading online. It says Zeta Gundam, Gall Force, and Gunbuster.
Yeah, it's not, and that's the thing. It's not supposed to be a parody of Macross. It's inspired by and supposed to be its own space opera mecha show. And
yeah,
and that's just like it's like a big slap in the face to the creators and the animators who worked on it. And that's just like, I don't know, that's bogus. You're bogus. You're a little bogus. And, you know, come to your house, I'm gonna stab you! I'm gonna cut you, bitch!
I'm gonna gut you like a pig.
I'm just kidding. Please don't take that. I'm absolutely kidding. This is just, I'm purely talking.
So.
I'm purely talking about your review and nothing else. But yeah, dude, you know what? Everyone's got opinions or whatever. Yours is just wrong. That's all I'm going to say. It is its own show. It's its own thing. And it does mimic, maybe kind of parody other things that are in other shows. Like Geki Ganger itself is a parody of like, you know, Getter Robo and Voltron and things like that. Actually more so Getter Robo. But like, that's kind of like the point. Like if you missed, you clearly like missed how that was worked in there. That's all I'm saying. And I think you should get a hobby. Preferably a Gunpla hobby, so you can like appreciate mecha more. Dick.
That's perfect. End it there.
All right, go ahead, Nick.
Wait, is it Danny's turn or mine? I thought it's Danny's, isn't it?
Go ahead, Danny.
Oh.
Moving on.
So
Just end it with dick.
so I realized okay. So I picked Cardcaptor Sakura. I skimmed through the reviews to see if there was any other reviews.
It's such a good
not
show that everyone gave it
recommended,
a 10, Danny.
But well, there was only one person that didn't recommend.
Well, you don't have to do. Okay, here's what you can pick a thing that they gave it like a 9, and then just crap on them because they didn't give it a 10.
I mean, no, I don't want to do that.
You just
I
do
think
Fruits Basket first.
I think no, that one I really want to nitpick.
Okay,
and that one needs to be last. But okay,
You can just like take shorter on this one if you want. You know.
Yeah, this person only got like 15 likes or whatever, 14 likes and 1 informative. And this review is from March 22nd, 2019.
we don't need to roast this person. I feel like we're punching down now. they got it bad enough, man.
Their username is Tinker_Jet.
Okay, let's roast the name right there, first of all.
They have a pretty wordy review. He was all like, they were all like, as I grew up with the Nelvana's English production of Cardcaptor Sakura and eagerly munched my way through other magical girl titles like Princess Tutu and Madaka Majaka. I knew I had to come back to this one to watch it through with all the nuances it had to offer. What I expected and what I received are two entirely different stories. Cardcaptor Sakura ends playing out in a shallow way. It's not that it ends up with some great hidden truths to be discovered near the very end, or that multiple stories coalesce in some satisfactory way. It's that there is generally very little below the surface in terms of story and character. What? That's all I gotta say.
What are you talking about, dog?
Um,
What are you talking about, dog?
yeah. They also felt like, oh, here we go. Perhaps it's a culture thing, but there is also a far greater emphasis on physical personal achievement and capability than on anything related to the mind. Go watch the show and keep tabs on how many times it's pointed out that Sakura is a cute or fast athlete. Virtually no emphasis in placed on her thoughts or mental well-being at any given moment. She's either cheerful or she isn't, and instead of letting her talk about it, she's told to cheer up. She isn't entitled to anything below the superficial surface of being gentle and cheerful.
How dare they?
I kind of get that, I guess.
I actually kind of get that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, but like it was made in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and that is typically the frickin' trope on what goes on in Cardcaptor Sakura.
It's also kind of like targeted to like younger girls, so maybe
Right,
it's targeted to a young audience.
It's literally targeted to younger
wanted to be
children.
positive.
But I mean, you
like-
can still have that stuff. You can do it. I don't think that's that good of an excuse, because you can have you can have the characters talk out or think out their feelings and
which is
still have
better,
children
yeah,
understand it. Like
You're right.
plenty of American cartoons have done that, and did Sailor Moon do that a little bit? Doremi, I think, did that.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
tons of shows that did that. So
No, you're right.
And I mean, close to more so when Sakura gets all the cards and she has like her her final judgment test, like that was like truly like a very big concerning thing for her to deal with and stuff. So it's not like she was always cheerful all the time. Like she had concerns on certain things. So but down the line, they said about the only things the show does well is art style. I am absolutely in love with the art style. It's sad to see it go to waste in such a mediocre series. Very little, if any, visual fan service. Props to shows that don't rely on any panty shots. Foreshadowing, it takes the show way too many episodes to tab into their foreshadowing's full potential, but it is there and it has done well. The few characters that actually took the time to develop, and then they wrote what could have been fixed. Slim down the number of episodes. Cardcaptor Sakura didn't need 70 episodes to tell the story it was telling. Princess Tutu took 26. Madoka Magica took 12. Too much greater impact. Slim down the cast. They could have basically made Chiharu, Rika, and Naoko one character with multiple interests and still had the same exact story. Slim down the relationships, focus on one or two good relationships instead of several broken ones. More emphasis on character development and lore. Given that foreshadowing was very much their strong suit, especially closer to the end, this should have been employed much sooner to the greater impact. Less emphasis on moments that ultimately work out to contribute nothing or very little to the overall series. The series had a lot of them. Personally, I wouldn't recommend, and they gave it a 2.
Yeah,
A 2.
Whatever.
I actually agree with this person.
Fuck you, Nick.
I mean,
I don't fully agree, but like they make some good points. I'd have to watch the whole show. I've seen maybe 10 episodes.
so there are some points that I do agree. Like watching
This is a pretty good review.
Watching Cardcaptor Sakura today is very outdated.
Sure.
Especially if you kind of watched it in the English, like the English dub, like Sakura's all like, I love cheerleading, but I hate math. Like it's very Saturday morning cartoons kind of thing. Like it's very
Which the dub was. It was on
yes,
Kids WB,
it is very targeted, or at least the one that is on Crunchyroll. I can't speak for because there are multiple English dubs for Cardcaptor Sakura. There's the one for like how they made it into like a shonen kind of thing. The English dub that is on Crunchyroll is, I believe, actually a Filipino English dub. Where they actually use like Tomoyo is Tomoyo in that dub. They actually use the proper names given to the characters, unlike the Americanized one where Tomoyo was Allison and stuff.
And Sakura Kinomoto was Sakura Avalon.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I can
Anyways.
kind of understand that definitely Cardcaptors is very outdated, especially a lot of the things that goes on in the show. There's also a slight controversy with one of the girls. I think it is Rika, who is like in love with her teacher, who is like 30 years older than her or 20 years older than her. I don't know.
It was one of those like Japanese storytelling things.
Yeah. So whereas like in Clear Card, they kind of like cut that character out of the story. Like that character does not exist anymore. They like wrote her out as like she moved away kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I can understand like their opinion and maybe slim down the episodes, but I mean again at the time Cardcaptor Sakura it was made in 98,
which means it was also pretty different from the manga. So,
right
yeah.
So it's like literally like Sailor Moon. It's like a card of the week kind of thing.
Monster of the week, card of the week.
Yeah, Monster of the Week. Yeah, they probably had to stretch it out.
Right.
Yeah.
They literally.
But that doesn't excuse it.
I don't know.
Capitalism, Danny, more like crapitalism.
Okay. So.
Anyways.
Yeah.
All I have is quips. I don't actually have real thoughts.
To give it a 2, though.
That's a little, yeah.
That's a little low blow there. So.
Yeah.
Fuck this person.
I love how you guys just end it with like, dick. Fuck this person.
Fuck you.
I got a good idea. I'll tell Sam in the chat how we want to end my roast of this person on my next one here.
All right, hurry up. Get going.
We got to go a little quicker here. Okay, this review is for the little-known show called Neon Genesis Evangelion. This is my favorite TV anime ever, I think. I don't know about Sam. It's one of yours. And
yeah, I can't. It doesn't go on my list because it's like God tier to me. So
you think it's like cheating or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like its own
hilarious.
tier. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is from Archeon, and this person did the review in 2007. This is like one of the OG like big Mal reviewers, I think. They've done a lot of reviews, I think. But holy shit, they're on like panels and shit. This is like a real ass person. 2000 forum post.
Like a real ass person.
God damn. 1300 anime completed. This is a fucking this is a fucking bigwig.
Yeah, come guest on our show.
You got to this is all going to make sense at the end because their profile picture is the dude from The Big Lebowski. But yeah, okay. So they gave this a mixed feelings, and this is the top review for Evangelion on Mal.
God damn it.
I'm just gonna say right away, they gave it a 5 out of 10, which is the
on,
most offensive
dog.
number. Okay, Jesus. Okay, 3,000 people gave it a thumbs up.
3,000? Holy shit.
63, and then everybody, 63 people gave it confused. But this is, I think part of it is like a lot of people gave it thumbs up early on. I think there was probably like a counter culture, not counterculture, but like everybody was praising it, and then probably at the time of the review and maybe a few years after, it was like cool to crap on Evangelion.
Yeah, yep.
And then it came out on Netflix. This was a few years ago. Was it 2019 or 20? It had to be like 2019. But anyway, so I think it's still cool to crap on Evangelion. I think everybody still does it, but I don't know. I'm giving people an excuse. But yeah, this guy wrote a long ass fucking review. I cannot read the whole thing. He says it's one of the most debated anime in history. Numerous hidden messages, while others argue that it's plays up to a certain puerile ideology of the world. Whatever the case may be, Evangelion established itself as a hot topic anime for well over a decade. And at this point, it's been almost 3 decades. But and then they kind of go into the background of it. Hideaki Anno. So the animation, and I'm assuming they did not watch the Blu-ray version of it. They probably watched the other version because the Netflix animation looks fucking amazing on this. But
this review was from 2007.
2007.
So
when did my anime list start? This might have been one of the first years for this website. Now I want to know. All right, somebody look it up.
And I'll look
Somebody
it
look
up.
it up. All right, okay. So he said the animation is well done considering the time, and that Gainax was supposedly running out of cash. Characters well designed, but the real breakthrough was the Ava units and the Angels. It pushed boundaries of mecha to a new level. It wasn't afraid to show enemy who had no visible relation to humans, something that was rarity in those days, but it was also used in Gunbuster. Animation's fluid, so they like the animation. They like and they talk about the sound. Now the sound is very good in general. The VAs in Japanese are very good. Stock effects. Actually, the sound of Evangelion was a lot better than a lot of shows back then because like they really cheaped out on Foley effects in most old anime. Like until like mid 2000s plus, like they cheaped out, and probably a lot of other ones too. But like Sam knows. I mean, I don't know how did Nadesco have on its sound effects? I don't remember, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like any anime from like the 80s and before just has like no sound effects. It sounds just like shitty.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
Except for like some movies. Movies are the exception, but
yeah.
But like this is like a really good sound effects for a TV show. This guy liked the theme song. He liked all that. Blah blah blah. I want to see why he didn't like it. Okay, characters. This is where Evangelion failed as an anime. Prior to NGE, Hideaki Anno suffered from depression while the characters were created in his image. Essentially, each of the characters is flawed in different ways. And unfortunately, the show failed because of one key factor, Shinji. So this guy doesn't like Shinji.
Oh my god, another
Well,
one.
that's not like a lot of people don't like Shinji, which is I find fascinating because it makes sense because like he's not a what do you call it, a power, like
he's
a
not
superpower
a confident
guy,
character.
He's not the male power fantasy that everyone.
Yeah, power fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what he is, but he kind of is in a way if you think about it. But so it's the characters, and he doesn't like Shinji. The team, okay, he says that the team lost focus on the other characters. He isn't courageous, handsome, or intelligent. Shinji considers himself to be worthless. The issue is that the show focuses too much on Shinji, almost to the extent where the other characters are simply plot devices and not. Okay, that's fucking bullshit. That's bullshit. Like, there's a lot. I mean, all the characters. Well, not all of them. All the main characters have stuff going on, and like you get to see like the thoughts in their heads and like discussions amongst them. Like Asuka, Rei, not so much. Rei is like she's kind of like the mystery box, but Asuka especially and Misato are probably the two big ones. Yeah, I guess it kind of does make. Oh, no, Ritsuko too. Actually, Ritsuko is a really good one. So it's really funny because like all the female characters have a lot that you get to peel behind the curtain for them. None of the male ones except Shinji. I'm just realizing that now. Maybe oh god, watermelon guy. I can't remember his name. Sam, what's his name? Misato's boyfriend. Kaji. I was about to call him Kaoru, but Kaoru is different. Okay, so he doesn't like Shinji. Okay. Fine. Why is it a 5 then? Okay, so this he doesn't think that Shinji's a bad character. The problem is that he can only stomach so much unjustified self-pity, which I don't think any of it's unjustified. First of all, Shinji like went through a bunch of bullshit, and his dad is like estranged, and his mom is dead. So like, and he's 14, so he's going through it. So world's ending. I think it's all justified. I'd be even more self-pitying, but if that was the case. Okay, it's been pointed out that Shinji wanted to kill himself because he thought he was worthless. He wanted to be pitied because of the bad hand he's dealt. The argument doesn't wash with the reviewer here, with Archeon. If someone truly wants to kill themselves, they will. So Shinji didn't really want to die. Well, yeah, that's the complexity of it. If he did, he would have just done it. But like, I don't know. I think that's oversimplified too. I think it's more complicated than that. See, that's like the bullshit thing. I bet this is the type of person who's like, oh, if you kill yourself, you're weak or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's
it's
not
definitely
true,
way more complicated than that, buddy.
Just it's like if you're depressed, bro, just feel happy, bro. What are you doing?
Just like cheer up, yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't like the whining, and I don't know. Shinji, like, he whined a little bit. It depends if you watched it in English or it sounded like you watched it in Japanese. Okay, Shinji wanted people to tell them he wasn't worthless, which is true. He wanted to be loved, essentially, and he said it was overused in Evangelion. Okay, and he has a hedgehog dilemma where he rams his sense of worthlessness into the faces of other characters. I don't know. I'm kind of mumbling a little bit here because this is a long review. This is like 2,000 words. This guy wrote a ton. So he doesn't like the development of Rei and Asuka. They were overshadowed by the mammoth development given to Shinji because Shinji's the main character, and that would be stupid if Shinji didn't get development. So I don't know. He enjoyed the concept behind Evangelion. He had issues with the Deus Ex Machina of Unit 1, which is funny because it kind of literally is. The thing about it, okay, the story isn't that original, borrowed elements from other sci-fi, Space Battleship Yamato, Gunbuster. Story breaks down in several places. He tries to make sure to merge all perspectives into one single view, and Anno managed to achieve this in some measure, but he failed because he focused too much on Shinji. So what I'm getting from this review is the guy doesn't like Shinji, the story focuses too much on Shinji. Mostly everything else is pretty good, though. So he gave it a 5. I don't want to take up too much time. I've been doing this for a while on the review, but Archeon, I'm sorry. You're wrong. He goes into the other thing too that everybody complains about Evangelion who doesn't like it. They put all this emphasis on like the religious symbology, and at the end of the day, none of that shit fucking matters. That's not the point of the show. It's just like even the creators said it looked cool. Like that's it. And it kind of fit the story a little bit. It's like a biblical end of the world thing. So
yeah, that's just part of like the goal of the characters. Some of the characters. Yeah. So go ahead, finish. Sorry.
Okay, so it's a tough at the end of the enjoyment. Evangelion's a tough show to rate. According to Anno, if you're a normal, well-rounded person, you won't learn anything from the show. Which actually, I kind of agree with that. If you're already successful and you have everything going for you, first of all, you shouldn't be watching any anime at all, like, in my opinion. Or maybe you're not going to get anything from anime. If you have like if you're running on all cylinders and everything's going well, like, why would you watch anime? It's kind of dark to say that, but like, does that make sense to you guys or no? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
But I guess that applies to TV and movies too, because like what.
I don't necessarily agree, but yeah, I was gonna say
maybe
like,
I'm a little bit exaggerating. I'm a little bit wrong on that, but like, I think that's a good point. I mean, if you've never like been depressed or like felt bad or been in a low point, then you shouldn't watch this show. You're not going to get much from it.
On the other side of that, though, then you should watch it because then you can learn about what it's like for other people.
No,
And
I feel
so-
like those. I mean, maybe some people, but I feel like a lot of people who haven't really experienced any of that would just be like, just suck it up, just do good, you know, like just be like me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think a lot of people are like that, and in some ways I envy that.
Yeah.
Some ways I don't, but so okay. Many of the younger fans are fiercely loyal to the show and have a tendency to react harshly to any criticism. And the unfortunate side effect is the show has gained a certain notoriety that could have done without. Okay, so he thinks it's overhyped. It's one of the shows that could have been great. Unfortunately, the glaring flaws copied with a lack of development among other characters made the show mediocre. It's funny because he actually didn't mention the very ending of the show, which is like one of the big complaints that a lot of people have with this.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but like he
Had his original review at the bottom. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah.
My big issue with this review is that it's every other fucking, like Nick said earlier, this is like you're just in opposition because it was popular, and you just want to call it super mid to be cool. And
mid before it was mid. Nobody said mid back then.
The
but that's what
fucking
he would say now.
suggestion. The alternative anime suggestions you listed are the most basic ass bitch answers to like recommend to people.
I think they're all pretty good though.
They're good, except they're still the basic bitch answers. I can think of 10 other better ones. Like, and I understand that this was from 2007.
2007. So
2007.
Brotherhood
so
hadn't even come out yet.
So I get it. I get it a little bit. Whatever. But like, even then, I don't know, dude. Like, this is like. You hate Shinji because he whines. You think the religious symbology is whatever. Well, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, that, sorry, dude. This is the most basic ass mid review that anyone could give Evangelion.
I give this review a 5 out of 10.
So, I mean, welcome to the club of like literally
3,000
everyone
likes
else.
on this review. I thought this was going to be like more well written than it was and like more thought out, but it was to be fair, I bet the guy wrote it when he was like relatively young.
Maybe.
I'm guessing because it's 2007. Like he couldn't. I don't know. Maybe he was 20 something. But the Bobda has again. I'm gonna nut hug Bobda, my boy. He has it as his number one anime, and he says like the reason Evangelion is good, partly from Bobda, partly from the old ANN cast. There's because like Evangelion like makes you feel something. It's about people. It's not about like what happens or like the little intricacies of this or that. It's a human. It's like a human experience. That's what it is, and it's about like it's a hero's journey kind of, but the hero's journey isn't actually saving the world. It's accepting yourself, kind of in a way, and it's. Especially in the TV ending, that is what happens, and
which I did not appreciate until Nick was like, "No, dude, you don't understand." Like, it's still good.
and then you get to the movies, and crazy shit happens, and there's a lot more to it. But that I mean, the show is just like very filled with like pathos and stuff. And yeah, I agree. Shinji is the main character. That's the flaw, I guess. So.
And also, just like the last thing I'll say is like, if you don't know what it's like to be on that edge of wanting to just like ending everything, then you should shut the fuck up about it. Like, I know we're just joking with all the other reviewers, but like this one is really shitty, and you should like. I hope you stub your toe when you wake up tomorrow morning. Honestly, like really hard. Like fuck you.
Yeah.
And like seriously, and I like, and dude, seriously, dude, like, watch it again. Watch it again with brand new eyes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna read from Bob Does review. This is not a Mal, but he says so, and this will be the end of it. So because it is so very true, because it's so deeply honestly afraid, Evangelion's statement in favor of human connection isn't just a truism, it's the bravest, most optimistic choice imaginable. In the context of how true and how overpowering the emotional struggles of its characters are, nothing short of the apocalypse seems worthy of depicting them. In the mind of a scared, lonely boy, the decision to accept the pain of living might as well be the rebirth of the universe. So that's like a very good encapsulation of what this is. And
Bobda, you're invited to the cookout.
Yeah, that was fucking well said.
And by the cookout, I mean just be a guest on our
and
show.
like, I mean, it's not just like boys too. I think girls can relate to this too. Like, I relate to girl characters and boy characters equally, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I think girls can relate to Shinji. So what if he's a boy? It's not the show isn't about him being a boy. Like, it's about his struggles as like a human, you know.
As a kid too, like
yeah,
and all these adults telling him what it is.
It's not a perfect show. It has like flaws here and there, but so what?
Right.
That's my take on it.
Right.
Yeah. So then, Sam, you got to cue the clip of the roast of Archeon. You got to cue the clip of the Big Lebowski sending his ashes to the Pacific Ocean.
And so, Theodore Donald Karabatsos, in accordance with what we think your dying wishes might well have been, we commit your final mortal remains to the bosom of the Pacific Ocean, which you loved so well. Good night, sweet prince.
God, what the hell?
All right.
I thought you were gonna say that. I thought you were gonna say the Clipper. It's like, well, that's just your opinion, man.
Yeah.
Well,
No, the Pacific Ocean is good.
I'll put that at the beginning.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
I'll put the Pacific Ocean.
All right, I filibustered. We got to go a little quicker.
No, well, actually, Nick, it's kind of perfect the way you said that one, the way you roasted that one, because that's like what I'm gonna say about my last one, which is Gridman. SSSSS. Gridman. So the first half of their review, their fucking essay here, this is by Hell Lighter, and it's from 2018, from when the show came out. They rated it a 4, and their first like part of their review is like being like they're being cheeky, being sarcastic, like, oh, if you want another like mediocre anime, then look no further than Studio Trigger, because they have edgy main characters and blah, 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 steamy hot fan service. And that's how they said it. And then throughout the review, they continue to replace the acronym SSS with like, so like, but no, seriously, with stop sounding so stupid .gridman. And they like, you know, with the SSSS or whatever. And then in parentheses, they go, seriously, are the 4 S's supposed to mean something? Number 1, you uneducated swine. Yes, it stands for Superhuman Samurai Sentai Squad. Or Superhuman Samurai Squad.
If you're writing the review, Google it.
You could literally just, like, this just tells me you didn't, yeah.
I mean, I know it's a free review. I'm not paying for it, but, like, goddamn, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, like,
I get it. If you're, like, talking in conversation, I wouldn't know, but fucking whip out your phone, man.
Yeah, like, you know, yeah, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad is what it stands for. And then they said, interesting enough, my score for this anime fluctuated several times. Throughout its runtime, I actually did find some episodes to be enjoyable and thought-provoking, yet others were an embodiment of mediocrity equipped with bad character interactions and bland scenarios. Well, I mean, yeah, it's also supposed to emulate the Monster of the Week thing on purpose, because that's what it is. You know, it's Gridman, okay? It's Hyper Agent Gridman. If you've never heard of that show, then, again, in the words of Nick, whip out your phone, man. Like, what the
whip
fuck
it
are you
out,
doing?
baby.
Yeah, let me see that phone, dude. Let me see that fucking phone, motherfucker. Anyway, then they also did it again, where they said, show story seriously sucks. Gridman is underwhelming. It never really went anywhere, and it just sort of felt pointless. A lot of things didn't make sense, and when the anime did try to explain something, it usually just made it even more confusing. So, like Nick's review of Ava, the Ava roast, or like Nick's roast of the Ava review, sorry, this is like, that's the same thing. I'm going to say the same thing. It just, like, to me, is like, you didn't watch it, or you just are in opposition of something that a lot of people seem to had enjoyed. Maybe not, because it only has a 7.12. I don't know. I mean, it just tells me that you didn't watch it. That's all it tells me. And it also tells me that you didn't pay attention to the production at all, because number 1, you rarely said anything about it. And you tried to compare it to great anime like Neon Genesis Evangelion and Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. And I don't know if you meant that as an insult to those two shows, but like, or what? But like, that just tells me if you did mean it as an insult, then you also didn't watch those two shows either. So like it's kind of hard to take your opinion seriously, and you just I don't know. It just seems like you didn't watch it to me. That's all I'm gonna say. And again,
one thing is like a lot of anime is kind of incestuous. So like to fully appreciate something, you got to watch an older anime too. To be fair to them.
yeah, sure, and
but also fuck them.
That's also what I was gonna say too. Is like I'm not gonna completely fault you because clearly you didn't know where it came from. But that being said, it's still a thing on its own. You don't need to have watched Hyper Agent Gridman or Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, which is the American equivalent of it. And you might not have been old enough when that aired either. You know what I mean? I don't know how old you are. That being said, like I do respect some of the points you made here. Obviously, I respect everyone's opinion on this, on all the reviews we roasted. But like to me, man, it just sounded like you didn't watch it, or ma'am, or dude, or them.
One time I called a lady ma'am at Target, and she got mad. She's like, "No,
man.
call me miss. I'm still young."
I like when people call me madam. They're like, "Oh,
Ooh.
yes, madam." Makes me
And then
feel
you,
fancy, like I'm supposed to be
step
drinking.
on their balls a little bit.
Supposed to be drinking tea or something. I whip their ass with that paddle, bitch. Nah, dude. Like Helllighter, I think it's a decent review, and I can understand why you did get confused at some parts, but like then the rest of it just sounds like you didn't watch it. So you should rewatch it, and then you should also get a hobby. Ass. Anyway. Danny,
I just love how you throw a random insult at the end.
Danny, I know you got one more, and you wanted to like.
Oh God. Okay. That's
know you
okay,
wanted
Danny.
to-
Take your time. Don't feel rushed.
Yeah, don't feel rushed, but also like.
But also, fucking hurry up. Just kidding. Dude, I took like 10 full minutes on mine. I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I agree. I agree with this is okay. I know Nick and Danny.
I probably took 15 minutes.
I know Nick and Danny fart on my Cheerios every week, but you have to understand, at the end of the day, that's all love right there, and I agree with both of them most of the time. Maybe not about Honey Bear's pay, but most of the time. Okay, Danny, hit him.
Okay.
Oh wait, so this is on the new fruits basket.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I spoiled it. Sorry. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, the old
Yes.
one is irrelevant now, right?
Eh.
Take that as a yes.
So on the show sheet, I didn't even think about linking the reviews that I was roasting. So for Fruba, I actually did share 2 of them. I'm going to be talking about the Inochin Opan one
Inochino pan.
Whatever. I have no idea how to pronounce
Is
their
that like a
frickin-
pant? A type of pant?
I have no idea.
Indochino.
But this is where like my blood just was boiling,
I know Chino Pan.
Oh,
and
look at all these low numbers. I love it.
like
Oh,
I
jeez.
Danny, would you get mad if I
Let
gave
it
it a
out,
thumbs
Danny.
up? Danny, tell me if you can see this. It says 104 right now. Okay.
uh-huh.
Now what does it say?
She'd have to refresh.
Oh,
the
you gotta
I
page,
would
you
have to
dummy.
Okay.
refresh the page.
Refresh the page and tell me.
You really want me to refresh the page right
Yeah,
now?
I want to see if it loads real quick.
It did.
Nice. I'm leaving it.
All right, Danny,
Oh,
go
come
ahead
on,
and.
you asshole.
I'm gonna give it well written.
Okay, Danny, let it out. Let it out. Let it out.
Okay.
Let him know. Let him know.
So this person stopped at 16 episodes. They're like 16 episodes in. I have finally reached the point
Come on.
which urges me to write a review to this series. Being not familiar with both the manga and the original run, I decided to pick it up due to
Not gonna work here anymore anyway.
My dyslexic is kicking in, and I don't know how to pronounce this word.
I'm on the wrong page.
Omnipresent.
Omnipresent excitement and love
you got it,
towards
babe.
the title. Needless to say, I was disappointed to boot. So they gave the story a 3 out of 10. They're like, I really wanted to like this show, I swear. The concept itself is not that bad, but really it's too cheesy even for a shoujo series. Later on, the author tries to add a darker twist to the plot line, which by itself wouldn't be such a bad idea if it wasn't done poorly. There are so many plot holes I just want to be filled, and this anime fails to answer all of them, leaving the viewer with even more questions. Okay, number one, that is the whole fucking point. The storyline just keeps flowing, events happening, and the cast goes along with it like no big deal. They're barely engaged in their own lives for the same reason. The worst part, it feels like everything revolves around the main character, Toru, as if she were the singularity of the world they live in. And that wouldn't be so bad either, since she's the main character after all, if she weren't the most boring person in the world, which leads to my next point. Ugh.
That's the same as my review. How dare they have a main character?
Like, oh man. Okay, a lot of these not recommended reviews say that Toru is annoying.
You're annoying.
Yes, I can definitely say every single person that says Toru is annoying and she is probably the worst main character ever, I am going to bluntly say you are wrong. Yeah, Toru is pure. That's just how she is. If you honestly continue to watch the series, you will actually see how broken Toru really is. The fact that you think that the show literally leaves the viewer with even more questions, that is literally the whole entire point. And if you would have read the manga, you would have known that. So the characters, they said that bad, extremely bad, one-dimensional, boring, with one personality trait. Turanda is a prime example of that. You can't just justify the character's entire personality by saying her mom died, and now she's smiling through pain to make everyone happy. There's a whole thing that goes into that. And obviously, yes, death is a traumatic thing for certain people, but sometimes people really do have a light and they kind of move on because they know that person so well that they don't want that set person that died for you yourself to be sad. So to mask it, they try to make themselves feel better by just being happy. Yes, that is kind of like a depression mask kind of thing that happens with a lot of people. But that's just how it is. So I just wanted to make a point on that. This person gave the show a 3 overall. Yeah, I'm not even gonna just fuck you, dude. Watch the whole thing, watch the other 2 seasons. I'm actually really curious on what kind of plot holes you're speaking of, because you said that
you didn't even finish it.
Exactly, you think there are plot holes, but what plot holes are you talking about? You didn't really specify on what plot holes are missing. Are you talking about why is Toru Honda's mom died? Why is she dead? Why are the boys, why is Yuki and Kyo living with Shigure? What plot holes are you talking about? I'm really curious on what you think about that. One-dimensional personalities, I think that is absolutely wrong. A lot of these characters have a lot of dimension. And also a lot of characters in the show have really, really good character development, especially once you get to season 2. So, but the one that I really wanted to nitpick is the second one. I don't even know how to pronounce the first word in this user's name, but it's Fran
Dulce
30,
Trey Frame 32.
Frame 32. They they're like, after they were actually pretty excited about it, apparently. They're like, after episode 1, I was thrilled for next week's episode to come. Episode 1 of the series is almost word for word of the original, which was what made me hopeful for this new series. Then episode 2 came, and it was fair but not quite lived up to the expectations of the previous episode. Then it kept getting worse, much worse. They were talking about that the art and animation weren't that bad. It doesn't add anything or even begin to salvage how bad this reboot is. Oh, wow, I didn't even read this part. Cannot excuse some pretty frames for an awful execution. Most of the time, the art is only pretty when it wants to be. There are countless frames that look ugly and sometimes downright scary. That's mostly a problem in faraway shots, not to mention this new art doesn't fit very well with the show's comedic moments. Well, when there is any, and I'll get into that. I don't understand. A lot of people didn't even like the sound and music in the new adaptation. I absolutely loved the soundtrack. I don't know about you, Sam, how you felt about the soundtrack, but I love the soundtrack 10 times better than
It's very good.
The original one. I think the original one was definitely more cartoony and had that like kind of kazoo boingy sounds a lot, and I actually found that annoying. So this person also said that the music was nothing special and the OP and EDs were pretty sucky, especially
Trash.
the first one. I'm like, okay, fuck you, bitch. This person also called Toru a pretty doormat.
Ooh. I kind of like doormats sometimes, especially when they're on sale for $4.99. I got a nice Halloween one. Whoo!
Overall, their review, they had a lot to say about the characters. And personally, I think this review is mainly they were probably looking for more of a comedic rom-com like the original was, because the original from 2001 that Studio Dean did is definitely more of that it was definitely it was less drama heavy, more on the comedy side and lightheartedness of the show. It didn't really go through any full detail on any of the Zodiac members or the Soma members and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm really not going to get into it because there are definitely a lot of nitpicks that I would like to, but it's a really long thing. But the very bottom, they wrote, "The only thing I enjoyed about this show is how bad it is. I only came back weekly to see if the new episode can stoop even lower than the last. I don't recommend anyone who hasn't watched the old one. If anyone is saying this show is a masterpiece, then they haven't watched the old one. I'm sorry, I have watched the old one, and I do think this one is a masterpiece. This one is 10 times better than the original one. So
you would give the original one a 1 out of 10?
No, I wouldn't give it a 1 out of 10.
I'm just going by math. You said it was 10 times better. I'm just kidding.
God, Dan. Fucking Nick. Anyway.
Actually...
Yeah, they're all like, if you get anything from this review, watch the old one if you haven't. First of all...
Oh, that was what they said.
That's what they said, yeah.
The original is a masterpiece. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said. I'm
so they think the opposite. That's
They
funny.
do think the opposite, yeah.
There's some people out there who just think the opposite of everything, and they're just
I mean, don't
stupid.
get me wrong. There are some shows that, like...
But sometimes smart.
I prefer the older version than I do the newer version.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it's always that way.
Yeah, Fruits Basket, however, I think the 2019 one was definitely a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, music-wise, art-wise, story-wise, like, it was definitely more faithful to the manga than it was... at the Studio Dean one. I still hold Studio Dean version close to my heart because I will admit it is fucking hilarious, especially with Ayami comes on screen. Like, all of his lines are fucking great. I love it. But I've read the manga. I know what happens, and I loved the story. So the fact that you think that this, like, the art and is mediocre and it's just bad, and the only reason why you watched it was to see on how bad it got, I think you are completely wrong with that. Yes, it leaves you in question and everything like that, but to say that it looked ugly, you must be really blind that you think the 2001 version is a lot better than this one. So I'm going to give you 2 middle fingers up, so fuck you, dude.
2 middle fingers out of 10.
But yeah, no. Yeah, you you don't know what you're talking about. I'll just say that. That's all I'm going to say.
I posted in the chat what Danny thinks about the review.
The fact that you think it's,
This could be our thumbnail.
God.
All right.
You make a valid point, but consider this. Fuck you.
It's the old Tobey Maguire picture.
God.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Nick. I'm done.
All right. So this is my last one. This is Kill la Kill, 2014 anime. This was the Studio Trigger saved anime meme show that everyone said it saved anime. So this is a review by Felix Sirica. They have mixed feelings about it. They gave it a 6 out of 10. And so they had this to say: witnessing the Kill la Kill hype train chugging along made me enter the show with negative expectations. I think that's kind of the same trend among all the reviewers. The generic revenge plot, school setting, and ridiculous designs left me folding my arms and rolling my eyes. You should probably just stop watching it if that's the case. That's like the whole point. It was and still is boldly proclaimed that Trigger is saving anime, whatever that means. Okay, they're right about that. That didn't make any sense when they said that. I think that was a meme. I don't know why people said that. While Kill la Kill may be refreshing, is it really a cut above the rest? For better or worse, I cannot help feeling vindicated for holding my initial expectations. With the closing of the last episode, I felt I had just watched a slideshow rather than an engaging narrative. So, like, actually, I think they're not wrong. They just think they just don't like it.
Yeah.
Because it does have slideshow moments to it sometimes. Like, the animation is, like, very spotty sometimes, but, like, it's hilarious. I think that plays into the comedy. They say it should be stated that having a show that doesn't revolve around the banality of the fantastical construct that Moe is heartening. Perhaps a narrative of personal struggle coupled with great conflict and violence is rather cliche, but it's certainly more entertaining. Ryuko as a character is interesting. She isn't a flower that immediately wavers in the face of adversity or immediately put in place by man. Unfortunately, That's basically all she has going for her. Otherwise, she's another angst-ridden teenager with a chip on her shoulder. This is pretty well said. This person actually knew what they were saying. Sure, Kill la Kill is indeed a show that not only has a strong female lead, but is dominated by powerful women. And if you guys saw the recent interview, this is not what they said. Did you guys see Jennifer Lawrence's interview where she's like, I was the first female action star?
Yeah.
That was so funny. In 2014 or something, fucking 40 years after other people have done this better shit than her.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah. Ryuko would not exist without Jennifer Lawrence. Let me just say that. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer Lawrence. You saved all of cinema. All right. Enough shitting on her. Okay, Trigger is talking of taking a risk, but Ryuko purposely not fleshed out to be broadly appealing. Her anger, loneliness, and eventual commitment to her friends is something shared with many protagonists. The narrative... You know what? I actually don't think this person is wrong. Maybe I'm just going to agree with this whole fucking thing. The narrative... I still gave the show a really high score. The narrative as a whole leaves something to be desired. From episode 3, it was obvious they couldn't draw out Ryuko and Sasuke's clashing of heads for a whole 24 episodes. That's true. The show already heavily alluded to Sasuke as being more than what she projects, given that this is
It
Japanese
sounds like you're
narrative.
saying Sasuke, by the way.
Satsuki Kiryuin. Given that it's a Japanese narrative, it's based on Kishokuten Ketsu. I cannot pronounce that. And the plot is hinged on a twist. You think that narrative structure based on plot twists, you'd go for something interesting. However, Trigger in their infinite wisdom, decided to go with the generic I am your father twist, like the Star Wars style. Well, it's honestly unexpected on my part. It was still a waste of potential. Now I got to know what Kishoten Ketsu is. That's kind of cool. I'm not even going to roast this person. This is pretty good. Besides, I saw that they said saving anime in quotes, and they gave it a lower mixed score, and I'm like, all right, picking that.
Right.
Besides that, there are jarring transitions between a more lighthearted action comedy to more serious action drama. I honestly failed to see why Trigger thought Mako and her family are absolutely indispensable for the narrative. Well, the show is already over the top, ramming in class antics of Mankancho family and the Mako's family, with conflict with a wide-reaching ramifications on the level of Michael Bay's Transformers. What purpose does Mako even serve other than a pure plot device? She's a generic best friend character. Her only defining trait is her long-winded motivational rants. Her relationship with Ryuko is an implied one. They're forced together in episode 1 with absolutely no development whatsoever. Kill la Kill relies, this is the last part of it, Kill la Kill relies heavily on its stylistic elements. So good action should be among one of its hallmarks. Despite that, the quality of the fights are underwhelming, as they are dependent on speed lines and characters shouting at one another. It could be said that Kill la Kill, the characters fight first and foremost with words, fists, and weapons being secondary arms. While I understand the aesthetics are a matter of subjectivity, I can't leave out my conviction that most of the designs are just plain terrible. Okay, that's just fucking wrong. That's the first wrong thing they've said. It seems all they did was take the standard Japanese school uniform and add as many spikes and stars as humanly possible. If the transformations aren't hulking masses of arbitrary geometry, they're merely skimpy shoelaces with bulging shoulders. All in all, I can't praise Kill la Kill to high heaven, but I can't exactly hate it either. Its OST is remarkable and really propels the show where it's lacking, even if I cannot appreciate all the tracks. That said, this is what constitutes... If this is what constitutes saving anime, then we are truly screwed. This should be among the average, not the exceptional. I gave that a thumbs up and a well written. That was good.
This is the most well written review out of
this.
All
Was
the ones
pretty
we've done,
good.
I think. Yeah.
So yeah, the character designs I think were really good. That's some of the best anime character designs, and everything else they said is fucking right. But I still liked it more than they did. I know Sam even liked it more than I did, but
I think we like it about the same.
I kind of.
Well, you gave it higher on
agree.
your decade list, I think. But
I might have, yeah. What'd you say, Danny?
I think I agree with this person for the most part. I mean,
fuck you.
We need to give this person a praise video.
So you agree with for the most part, but
it's because I mean, for me, when I first watched it, it was really difficult for me to get into it because there was no English. English dub
Okay,
for
well
it.
that can be fixed. The dub was actually
So-
pretty good. I thought it was a good dub.
Yeah, it is. Like I actually did go back to it and watch it. You know, I didn't have to worry about like fucking pausing and reading literally all of the subtitles that was on the screen so that I knew what the fuck was going on. So
Right.
Well, that was a dub, so that's not a real complaint, Danny.
I mean, again, this is like definitely very heavy fan service, so it's not like
Yeah.
the most greatest thing for me in the world, because
They have male fan service too in the show.
yeah, and I mean I don't really care for that either, so
Danny
It's-
only likes plant fan service.
plant fan service, yeah, sure, okay. But I mean I don't even know what I gave Kill la Kill.
I'm gonna guess you gave it a 6 or maybe a 7 at
You
most.
know what? I don't even know, because on my Mal account, I don't even have it rated. Hang on, let me go to.
Ain't even worth
Analyst.
it. Just rate it
Just
right
see.
now,
What was-
randomly.
What was your
Let's see.
What was your point, Danny? Rather,
I mean, I'm just like, there are
You're saying
some
you agree with the
points that
review?
I do agree with this person on. You know, Kill la Kill isn't as cracked up to be as it is.
Oh,
like,
it's
as it
cracked up.
is.
Trust me. There's some
It
butt
is cracked
cracks.
up. Yeah, it's
lot of butt cracks.
fucking naked bitches and all that kind of stuff.
I think
But, I mean,
I think their best
I
point was the 24 episodes. It didn't need to be that long, but yeah.
I'm just gonna be like the dude. Well, like that's just your opinion, man.
so I did look up really quick what Key Show Tenketsu was, which is 4-part story structure. Key, which is introduction, Show, which is development, Ten, which is the twist, and then conclusion, which is the Ketsu.
Well, so it's basically
Keisha
just a
Ten-
story with a twist.
A 4-part story, yeah.
4-part
structure,
story with a twist. There's also like 3-part structures too, but
Yeah.
yeah. That's pretty cool. We learned a new thing.
Yeah, thank you, Felix. Yeah,
I actually learned. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, oh my God.
I want to shake your hand.
Best review of the night.
Yeah. Felix Soreka?
actually-
Soreka? Good job.
And actually, it's the last one, so that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
And Kill la Kill,
Say the
by the
best
way,
for
was
last.
inspired by Project A-ko and also by the 80s drama named, it's a J-drama. I can't even fucking... Oh, Sukeban Deka.
Oh, I love Sukeban Deka. Ah, that's
At least,
right. It
at least
totally
the
is.
designs I think are helped inspire.
Yeah, no, it is the art style. Yeah, I believe I talked about that on one of my Somcasts where I said it deserves a remake.
Well, that
and
girl
Trigger
kind of
should do
cute
it.
though.
Yeah, Sukeban Deka is actually super sick, and Trigger would do a great job of remaking it. Honestly,
Oh yeah,
if they-
it looks heavily inspired by it.
if they did it like Kill la Kill, I would. Oh my god, it'd be so.
They have
good.
side by
Oh my
side
God.
shots that are just like, yep.
Okay, that was it, dude. Holy shit! Yeah, we went 2 hours on that.
That was. I feel
Whoa,
better
shit.
now. I feel good after reading that
I
review.
feel relieved now that we got all our anger out. You know, piece of shit. And I just want to say too, like I know
a
like,
long
we were-
episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like if I did seem serious, like a lot of the time when I was insulting you guys, I was joking most of the time. But like, no, yeah, this is all good fun. We're all having fun, and obviously, like, I think you guys are awesome for writing these long ass reviews, and you know, giving your thoughts on it. You know, like if you guys had like blogs or YouTube channels, or if any of these people are listening to this right now, and you do have YouTube channels, you should join our Discord and link it in the promotion channel, and we'll follow you. I mean, I think these reviews are great, even though I disagree with them hardcore. The only one I'm not going to praise at the end here is the Evangelion one, whoever that guy is. I mean, get a hobby, dude. Jeez.
The most offensive part of that review was that it was not as well thought out or well written as it could have been.
Yeah.
That's the most offensive part to me.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. It wasn't that
Yeah,
bad,
I
but yeah.
Yeah. But, like, anyway, great reviews. Very, you know, obviously we all disagreed with all what y'all said. This is all just in good fun. We're having fun. So, you know, I expect that you're roasting me right now. You're probably saying, wow, that bitch. She
Oh,
probably sucks
God,
dick
yeah,
for-
please
she
don't
probably
roast
sucks
me.
She probably sucks dick for money, which is obviously true. But that doesn't mean, like, you can talk shit about her. Okay, fuck you. That being said...
The only thing worse than a Mal reviewer is a podcaster.
I can't disagree with that. Yeah, I was about to say something about it. Yeah.
We're punching up. We're punching up.
I was about to say something, and I was like, nah, he right, though. But, nah, dude, I think it was funny that we each chose, like, one of our shows was, like, definitely our deaf favorites. Like, Danny had, Sakura and Fruba, and then I had Nadesco and Gridman, obviously. And Nick had Evangelion and K-On! But that being said, like, you know, I do also love Fruba. Definitely disagreed with that second review that Danny roasted. But anyway, all in good fun. Good job, reviews, nice reviews, except for the Evangelion one. Go to hell. And I've been Sam. That's been Danny, and that's been Nick. And we've been the Animes.
Oh my god.
You know what they say on the School of Rock? Those who can't do, teach. And those who can't teach Jim. That's us, except those who can't write. No, those who can't create, write. Those who can't write, podcast.